In this course, you will learn how to answer salary requirement questions on your job application, prepare to negotiate the offer in terms of research and timing, and find a bit of courage along the way. Money is always a hot topic. Many of us come to the table with preconceived notions and limiting beliefs about financial wealth. And as such, money, salary, is usually the most sensitive issue in the hiring process. Discussing compensation often causes anxiety for both the employee and the employer. From the employee's perspective, you are hyper-focused on having worked very hard to get an offer. A potential paycheck is on the line. The prospect of jeopardizing your job offer can be frightening. But a survey from the Society of Human Resource Management tells us that 4 out of 5 employers are willing to negotiate compensation. It is an expected part of the process, so you do not have to accept the first offer you are given. Step courageously into the negotiation practice because it can make an exponential difference in your career journey. So you want to find your number, you want to find the right time, and find that courage. You may be asked salary information on an application form. You could be faced with current salary or desired salary field on that application. And the answer you provide can be used in the screening process. Answer too high, you might not be considered. Answer too low, and they think maybe you're not bringing the full package to the table. On a paper application form, or certainly online, you can type anything you want. You could simply write negotiable, and this would give you the opportunity to discuss your salary history and expectations later. But if it is required on the form, there are some approaches you may take. First, consider entering $0, $1, or 10, the minimum number that you can, to make it clear that you're not answering the question. You could also answer $900,099, $999, the highest number that you can. Like answering 0, this shows that you're purposely avoiding the question. Always, if possible, enter a range. Some online forms allow you to enter 2 different numbers, and in this case, you can give a very real range, perhaps between 60 and 70,000. Or you can answer your desired salary, but know that it could lead to you being screened out if too high, or again low if you're being offered a lower salary during the interview itself. Also keep in mind that for those current salary questions, you may include your entire compensation, which often would be an estimated value of your benefits package. So if I make a base of $90,000 a year, but I know that I'm getting healthcare and PTO and dental, vision, all of those other pieces, my actual current salary may be listed at $140,000. So a couple of different ways you can play with that on an application. When you're buying any major item, a house, a car, a big screen television, it's important to do your homework and find out the value of that item. The same thing applies to our salary. When you're researching your salary, you want to do so for your position, for your level of experience, and within the industry. So in addition to online salary sites, you may also get information from your professional or trade association. Online, you can use sites like salary.com, payscale.com, glassdoor.com, and you may also find some salary guides and guidance on different government sites. One of the easiest ways to make sure that you're looking through things is to confirm that your prospective salary is related to your prospective employer. So you can take a look at their structure. If possible, maybe talk to a current or former employee, an alumni of your college or university who may hold a similar position, and that will allow you to gather some additional information. You can also, quite frankly, just Google average salary for enter job title here, and that can sometimes move you to some more specific information for a given profession. Timing is critical in salary negotiations. In negotiating an initial salary for a job, you as the job seeker do not want to be the one to bring it up in an interview. Let the hiring manager be the first to discuss salary. Don't bring up money until the interviewer brings it up themselves, if you can at all help it. Remember, they want you to accept the job. The company has put a lot of time and effort into finding the right candidate, which is you. So if you have to name a number first, you would be potentially offering a figure below the range the company is prepared to offer, therefore losing money in the process. You could also take yourself out of the contention if what you're asking for is higher than what they have to offer. The issue of money will likely come up in the interview when a company is serious about you as a candidate, but be careful not to negotiate salary or benefits until you have been offered the job. Here are some ways to have that conversation go. Because at some point you will be asked for your salary history, what you were paid, or very directly about your desired salary. Make sure that you're able to respond to those questions. And again, to take a look at how it is you might be able to force their hand to give you a bit of information, we see some examples on the screen. What is the compensation package for this individual previously in the position? What range did you have in mind? Perhaps you might pose, what are you willing to pay an individual in this position with this level of responsibilities? Each of these strategies allows you to keep the control and understand what they have to offer first. Naming a salary range, if forced to give a number, also gives you a chance to kind of determine a figure that is within that range, but giving a sense of where you're at, but not nailing in on one specific number, so you have some flexibility later on. The final concept of thinking about salary negotiations is fairly obvious. It's confidence, right? Confidence is very important in negotiations. You've probably heard the phrase, negotiate from a position of strength. Well, that strength comes from confidence, and confidence comes from being prepared by doing your homework, reaching the right decision maker, having the right timing, and knowing what you want out of the negotiation. One of the best things you can do to boost your confidence can be to role play your negotiation with someone. Ideally, you would practice with someone who has negotiation experience, like a friend or neighbor who's in sales or maybe a lawyer. Finally, when you are accepting the offer, make sure that you have clarified specific duties and responsibilities, know how your performance will be reviewed, evaluated, and compensated. Evaluate the whole package, not just salary, and make sure that you request the offer verbally, accept the offer verbally, but definitely request a written offer within 2 to 3 days. Finally, follow up with a thank you letter that includes the job title, annual salary, and your start date. Make sure you get the job offer or the raise you negotiated in writing, either in the form of an agreement or an employee contract. I appreciate you joining us. Visit our blog to access the Learning Library and more free downloads.